I never made a call to Diddy. I got Diddy's number. Just hit him up. Yo, Diddy, what up? Never happened.
He told me to take me shopping. I looked at him like, what you just say?
Woo. This is a tight one. And the winner is Eminem, the Eminem Show.
Wait, he didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out a P, did he? Yep.
You guys don't need to worry about me getting revenge from Diddy. I've got 3 moves that make sure he'll never be able to come after me or my family. First, I personally reached out to the victims' legal teams. The real reason he's not getting out is those buried cases behind the scenes. I provided legal funding for 7 victims who had been silent for years and brought in the top criminal attorneys in the country. Second, I bought up every potential post-release business deal he had lined up. I planned this 2 years in advance, so by the time he got sentenced and still had hope of getting out, every partner had already cut ties with him. Third, I don't just have evidence, I've got backups. This is an entire minefield that's been buried for 20 years. I uncovered every secret from the last 30 years. With testimonies from the victims, we interviewed over a dozen people he tricked, threatened, or violated. You think that's harsh? No, he destroyed other people's lives for decades. I'm just making sure he spends a few extra years in prison for it. I'm not afraid of his people, not afraid of his threats. I know he's still in there fantasizing about a comeback, but the truth is, he's never coming back.
That's why I don't be going to them puffy parties. They can hug you from the front and the back at the same time. What you talking about? Look, if you're into that, I'm fine with it. To each his own. I'm just saying this ain't my down the party. I like it. It's uncomfortable. I think I belong in the girls' bathroom. Like that is good.
The reason why their groups are so close is because all of them have a certain type of STD. I think they all got the alphabet. Now, bear with me, guys, because I'm not even trying to cap. I looked at it like this. You know they're not using condoms, right? So if you're in a party not using condoms, it ain't like you could catch something twice, right? You know, so if you already got something, ain't like you can catch it again. So I believe, one of my theories is that these people at these Diddy parties were so close because they all had STDs.
I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participate. So
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what's going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that. All of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic.
For decades, I've been watching this, and now I'm just making sure he spends a few extra years in prison because of it. I'm not afraid of his people, and I'm definitely not afraid of his threats. I know he's still sitting in there, probably fantasizing about making some kind of comeback, but the truth is simple, he's never coming back. That's also why I won't be showing up to those so-called coffee parties. Those are the kind of places where people hug you from the front and stab you from the back at the same time. I'm open to all opinions. If you relate to that, cool, and if you don't, that's fine too. But you get what I'm saying, right? It's just a different type of environment, and I'm not into that kind of scene. I love you all, but that's just not where I belong. Honestly, I feel like I'd fit better in the girls' bathroom than at those events. Music. The thing is, people say their group was so tight because they all shared something in common and that something might have been a certain type of STD. Some even joke that they had the whole alphabet. Now hear me out, I'm not even trying to exaggerate, I looked at it logically. You already know they weren't using protection, right? So if you're at a party like that not using condoms, it's not like you can catch something twice. If you already have something, you can't really catch it again. So one of my theories is that the reason people at those Sean Combs parties seemed so close was because they all had the same issues. Singing. And just to be clear, I never participated, I never went to those parties. Yeah. A lot of celebrities stay quiet about these things because they were involved, that's the truth. Music. What, so was there a specific reason you never went back in the day? I mean, we all have an idea of what was going on, but what made you stay away? I'm just not into that kind of lifestyle. Everything he was doing, that's not me. I'm more, you could say, normal or basic compared to that. For decades, hip-hop has been fueled by big personalities, intense rivalries, and secrets that eventually come to light. One of the longest-running tensions has been between 50 Cent and Sean Combs. What started as quiet competition slowly turned into nearly 20 years of public conflict, with 50 Cent taking shots at Diddy whenever he had the chance. In recent years, though, the situation has gone beyond jokes and social media posts. 50 Cent now claims he has insider knowledge about events connected to Diddy's private gatherings, mentioning the involvement of high-profile figures and reigniting major public debate. Music. The tension goes all the way back to the early 2000s. At that time, 50 Cent was rebuilding his career after surviving a near-fatal shooting and losing his record deal. During that period, he turned to ghostwriting and later claimed that one of his verses ended up being used by Diddy on Let's Get It by G-Dep. Even though they never officially collaborated, this connection placed them in the same circles, creating a quiet tension that would eventually grow into a very public and long-lasting rivalry. By 2002, 50 Cent was rising quickly as one of hip-hop's most outspoken and fearless figures. He wasn't afraid to call people out, and during this time, Sean Combs became one of his main targets. According to 50, this wasn't just about competition, it was about distrust. Instead of backing down, he leaned even harder into the conflict. Through interviews, Instagram posts, and his own platforms, he openly criticized and mocked Diddy. Sometimes it came across as humor, but other times the tone was much more serious. He questioned Diddy's behavior, challenged his public image, and suggested there was a major difference between what people saw publicly and what was really happening behind the scenes. But think about it, all these problems, they come from situations where authority figures cross serious lines. What do you mean? The laws are shaped by these things, by scandals involving people like priests. That's why the system reacts the way it does. Why is everyone looking at me like that? I'm just saying I go to church, that's it, I've got my alibi. Laughter. I was Catholic back in 4th grade. He said you've been dead a year. Laughter. No, wait, what does the body of Christ even taste like? That's not religious, you can't say that. Laughter. And then they say, drink my blood. Laughter. It's crazy how after 20 years all of this suddenly comes out. That's messed up. But when it comes to Puffy, you were the only one speaking out for years. Yeah, because we had our own situation. But you were the only one who wasn't scared. What, everyone else is scared? Maybe, I don't know, I'm just asking. They probably are scared, and if they are, that explains everything. You've also hinted at Jay-Z a bit. Yeah, a little. You've said people might come after him too. No, not like that. I just think he does certain things in a strategic way, like what happened with the Super Bowl. It wasn't okay for me to be there. So he tried to block you. Yeah, in a corporate way. He made it seem like there was an issue between me and the NFL, which wasn't true. Then when Eminem said he wouldn't perform unless I was included, suddenly everything changed. So what's your real issue with Jay? Honestly, it's just competition. But when it goes beyond music and turns into business moves meant to block someone, that's when it feels strange, like it's turning into real beef. Later on, 50 Cent revealed that he was working on a documentary series focused on his long-standing feud with Sean Combs and the growing allegations surrounding him. This wasn't just another social media moment. It was presented as a structured project aimed at exposing what 50 describes as the hidden side of one of the industry's most powerful figures. By May, he had reportedly secured a deal with Netflix, ensuring the series would reach a massive audience and push the conversation far beyond online speculation. Now, the situation is still unresolved. Music. But 50 Cent continues to insist that there's more information out there, and it will come to light when the time is right. Music. When Sean Combs' trial ended, he was cleared of the most serious charges, including racketeering and trafficking. However, he was found guilty on charges related to transporting women for prostitution. For 50 Cent, this outcome marked a turning point. He didn't treat it as a joke, he saw it as confirmation that some of the long-standing claims had truth behind them. In his view, it reinforced the idea that there's still more yet to be revealed. At this point for 50 Cent, this isn't about revenge or entertainment anymore, it's about accountability. He's made it clear that he wants Sean Combs to face consequences, and he's using every platform he has to push that forward. From social media to documentary projects and even hinting at exposing more names, he's staying consistent. In his eyes, the truth won't stay hidden forever. It's only a matter of time before everything comes out. The feud between 50 Cent and Sean Combs has lasted nearly 2 decades, but now it's moved beyond jokes and personal attacks. 50 Cent claims he has insider knowledge about individuals who were affected after attending Diddy's private gatherings, and he seems determined to bring those claims into the public spotlight. With a documentary series reportedly set for Netflix, this situation has grown from a personal rivalry into a global story. It's drawing massive attention and raising the stakes in a way that could change everything.